So would I recommend one of these to anybody? Yeah, I probably would. If you like your old Jab stuff, it's a little bit quirky, a little bit weird, a little bit more interesting than the average Civic. It's a sick car. Coming around the outside of the cars then, I think like everything's awesome. Where everything's pretty square, but even things like the mirrors, they're a cool shape, really cool. Big old wind deflectors as well. Like, as far as cars go, they're awesome. Even things like the fuel cap, mostly almost square. You come around the back, rear lights, they're about as square as it gets. Big square boot. Obviously being an import, there is no fog light normally, so that's like an afterthought. Around the other side, again, everything's pretty square, even my amazing paint job. Around the front, headlights, you ain't never seen anything that square. Even the fog lights, right, are rectangular. Square badge, square life, square plates. Like everything is square on one of these. And you know what? I love it. So in the back of the car, I'm a big guy. I'm the best part of 160 kilo. I've got more than enough room in the back here. You're not gonna get 5 people in the car, you're gonna get 4. But the room in the back, incredible. Loads of headroom, like actually a lot. Anybody in here is gonna be good. It don't matter if you're 6'5", you're gonna fit. The space inside these as a passenger is incredible. I mean, I've got leg room. I can almost stretch my legs. Because they go under the seats, gives you a lot more extra room. Plenty of room in the footwells. Somebody in the back of something as cool as this. Yeah, I'm happy with it. Moving on to the interior at the front. Again, loads of room. Like I said, I'm big, right? And I fit nicely in here. There's loads of room, loads of headroom, loads of space beside me, loads of leg room. I love it. So starting off, ignore this. That was part of my lunch. Gears, I've got a 4-speed auto on a column shift. Amazing. Your electric switches, electric mirrors, fog lights. The dash, I think is really cool. The dial, one of the coolest dials I've ever seen. In the middle. Again, cool shape for everything. Nice bit of space here for passenger bits. At the minute I've got a little amplifier on there for my PA horn that's in the front. Quite fun. I bought these as well. The crystal knobs to go on and replace these. I've got to work out exactly how they go on, but look how awesome those are. As soon as they're on, the light is going to hit that in so many ways. I cannot wait. They're so cool. Door pockets could do with being a bit wider. They're a bit small, but then the door cars themselves are really narrow, and I guess that's to get you the most physical space you can inside. Tiny pockets in the door. I don't know what rubbish I got in that. Oh, it's a stone, because my boy collects stones for some reason. You have another little pocket down here. Pedals, handbrake. That's the coolest thing I've ever seen. Cup holders, nice and standard. Like they hold stuff in really, really well. You drive like an idiot, that's going nowhere still. Very good. For me, fishing, 6-foot rod bag, barely fits unless you go diagonal. And it doesn't leave me a lot of room for anything at the front and down in that corner. So, plan is roof rack, get that on top, frees up that space. Not a bad shout. And with the boot empty and the seats forward, there's actually a fair bit of space. I got an entire tumble dryer in there the other day, stood up, laid down. There's all the room in the world, really. The seats, little wheels on them. The wheels run along the plastic. Although this one, the plastic's missing. Should have a piece like this. I don't know where that one's gone. And that helps it run backwards and forwards because those seats slide. Let me show you how they fold. First thing to do, remove the headrests, which mine are over there. And inside, you have these little switches here. You push that down. Once you push the switch, seat folds. Same with this side. Push the switch, fold the seat. Nice and easy. I'll come down here, this little lever, put it, pull the seat forward as far as it'll go. Gives you a bit more boot space. You can run with it like that. As long as you've got passengers with very small legs. But then what you want to do, around here, this little lever, pull that, whole thing folds forward. And with the seats folded all the way back, there's not a lot of room, and that's full. It's kind of pathetic. Yeah, seat all the way back, there really isn't much room. I've got his car seat in here, which is, you know, questionable as to whether it'll fit or not. Bike and a bat. But it closed, cool. Let's switch it on. So first thing I've got to do, got the silly immobiliser. It's not silly at all until you lose the immobiliser key, and then you can't start it. Key, look at that big square old Jap style key. No issues there whatsoever. Things like that just feel so right. Like, that is the smoothest, nicest change I've ever felt in any car. Really like it. So generally, the overall quality of these things I think are pretty good. So we have, in this one specifically, the 1.5 litre 4-speed auto out of, I believe, the Yaris T-Sport. Produces 109 horsepower, 0 to 60 if you're lucky, but it's not built for fast, it's built for comfort. And believe me when I say these things are comfortable. It's got all the space you need, it's got all the comfort in the world, and it's got just about every bit of technology that you'd need. I've got mine on some teen coilovers, and they're wound down quite a bit, so it's a little bit of a bumpy ride, but that's my own doing. On the standard tyres, standard wheels, standard suspension, this thing is a soft little cruiser. You'll glide everywhere. Fuel economy, I mean, it's okay from what's essentially a fridge freezer on wheels. It is the most unaerodynamic car you can possibly buy. I put in a full tank of petrol, and I think it's around 35 litres, but that will do me close to 300 miles. So working it out, it's not that bad. Other than that, the gear change is relatively smooth. My counter's on 193,875 at the moment, so mileage is pretty damn high, and it still runs nice. All in all, yeah, pretty good cars. I definitely recommend getting one if you're into your Jap stuff and you like odd, square, quirky things, and you can't really afford some of the older Japanese cars because the prices have gone mental. I paid £800 for this one. Okay, I've bought wheels, I've bought coilovers, and I painted it blue in a car park, but that's on me. £800 is a standard little square. Yeah, sick, mate. I love it. I don't know what it's like over in the States where they were marketed as Scion XBs, where you guys could buy stuff and actually do things to them. Over here it is kind of hard. You either import stuff or you get stuff made. Either way, it's kind of expensive and it's not the best. Engine wise, yeah, easy. Basically a Yaris, like I said, and everybody here has at some point had a Yaris in the family. Brakes, who knows? I haven't tried yet. I'll have a look later, actually, because I could probably do a change in mine. Solid 6.5, I reckon. 6.5 out of 10. Like I say, there are some down points. One being the boot is small, unless you've got the seats folded. It's narrow, which is good and bad. So it's good for parking, not so good if you've got a lot of stuff in it or a lot of people. I'm basically holding my friend's lap while I'm driving, regardless of whether he or she want me to. Yeah, soz about that, everyone. Other good points, cheap to run, cheap to insure, cheap to look after. Like I say, engine parts are cheap. We did a whole service on this, all the filters and stuff. I say I let my friends do it because they know that I'm probably not going to. £100 roughly for 2 flushes through with oil as well. So we used a lot of oil. Definitely worth the money. Ooh, another cool thing I just thought of, because nobody knows what it is, because there's no signs on it that say it's a Toyota, you're not going to get that many parking fines, because they're hardly just going to put blue square on your fine, are they? They've got to tell you what it is. And if they don't know without looking, How can I find it? A little loophole there for me, maybe. We'll see. I might go out, right, and see how many people know what it is. I've been asked about my cube many times, many times. No one has a clue.